Hi everybody, how are you? Say hi. Alright, so today's topic is how to be positive. I think I've been doing a lot of Facebook Lives about all sorts of topics, and sometimes we talk about being positive, and a lot of times, right? It's like, yeah, of course, be positive, and but sometimes we may think or may take being positive for granted. Like, all right, yeah, be positive. And I'm not saying that you're not positive. I'm just saying that sometimes it's good to think about how to be positive. Is there a way to be positive? I mean, think about it. If somebody says, okay, yeah, be positive, but how to be positive, all right? So if you had to give people an instruction as to how to be positive, what would your instruction be? What would you say? What would it compose of? All right. Hi, Xuyan. Thank you for joining. You're joining almost every time I do live. So I'm sitting on my Ninja Line swing. And okay, so the question is how to be positive, right? How to be positive. Well, again, this is not the only way. It's how I've kind of taught it, or how I kind of see it, and how I kind of break down ways of being positive. And so again, it's three things. There are many more things, but these are just three things. All right. So, what's the number one? Be positive. Huh?
I don't know what you mean.
See, sometimes being positive, people don't know what it means by being positive. So, I guess being positive is, you are optimistic, you're happy, you're open-minded, all that kind of stuff. So, which is great, isn't it? We want to be positive, right? So these are the three steps to be positive, okay, I feel, or three things or three areas to be positive. And so first one, so being positive is in all situations, is to seek value. I always use this, I always say this, seek value. That means you look at a situation, or you look at anything, and you're looking at the value of that particular event or situation, or whatever it is that is. See, because I feel that if you focus on the value, it's very hard to think about it negatively, isn't it? Because the word value, you're looking at value. What value do you add in, or what value do you get from something? So if you seek value, that means if you look at a situation and you're looking at all the valuable things that you can get from it, you are really looking at things from a positive perspective, isn't it? What are the things that you can get from this situation, right? So seek value is one of them. So whenever you are in a tough spot or a challenging situation, and somebody says to you, well, be positive, and you say, well, how am I going to be positive? It's such a, I'm so frustrated, I'm so annoyed, I'm angry and emotional. So it's hard to say be happy, because sometimes you can't. But if we do something, if we make a choice to do something, like for example, seek value, that means we have to turn on a logical kind of a mechanism to focus on the value, positive things, right? Value. So that's number one, right? Seek value, right? So number two. Okay, so when I believe that to be positive, you are looking at things and you are hopeful about it. It's like, okay, you're hopeful. Hopeful could be, there's potential there. It can make you happy. It will give you what you want, isn't it? So being able to see that potential, being able to be hopeful about that situation, is if we can look at something and and be able to get a solution from it, right? Get a solution from it. So in order to get a solution from something, even though it's, challenging situation, it requires you to be, number two, be creative, right? Be creative. So that means if you are stuck in a situation and you will say things like, oh, frustrated, it doesn't work, I cannot, it doesn't work, I give up, I cannot, so all these negativity will come. But if you are creative, you're looking at a situation and say, okay, that's tough, I can't do this, but what can I do? All right, how about this? I do this. How about I do this and then do that? How about I find the solution? So when you are being creative, you are automatically being positive, because you're looking at a situation and looking at the potential of a solution in the future. It may be tough, but if you're creative, you're going to find a solution. If you find a solution, that means that it's hopeful. If you're hopeful, that means something good will come, right? And that's being positive, all right? So number one is seek value. Number two is be creative. Be creative, all right? So number three, how to be positive. Well, being positive to me is that, sometimes, I may look at something and there may be different thresholds, right? Different levels of something that makes you feel that, that's a positive thing, or that's that deserves me positive. So what I'm trying to say is that the third thing is to be easily inspired. That means the threshold of something being positive is actually very low for me, right? Rather than it has to be enormous, great, fantastic, super before I look at that thing and say, yeah, that's positive, right? So I have a lower threshold of or expectation of what can make things positive. So I'm very easily inspired. So I'm very easily inspired by anything. So if you're easily inspired by many things, that means you are very easily positive. That means small things can make you feel positive. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, yeah, you can do that. Yes, you can. Whereas if we have a high expectation of things, that means that you need to accumulate a lot of good or value before you feel that there is something positive or valuable about it. So lower that expectation, or meaning be easily inspired, so that the threshold of being positive is easier. It's a lot sooner, a lot simpler to get to. So that's those are the three things that I feel that can help one person become more positive. Number one, seek value. Look at value in everything, because once you're looking value, you can't be negative. Number two, be creative, because any situation can be solved, right? If it can be solved, that means it's not a problem. Then you can be positive if it's not a problem. Number three is lower that expectation, be easily inspired, so that you don't have to, it doesn't have to be, you could be happy if you have $1, rather than you need to have $10,000 to be happy. So that's an analogy. So I'm not talking about money makes you happy. I'm just giving an example, right? So it doesn't have to be a huge task that you do, or a big value that you will get in order to be positive. It's that any value you get is valuable, right? So be easily inspired. So don't look for many, don't have too high standards for you to be positive. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Say hi. So I hope that helps, how to be positive. And it's for some people it may not be easy, because some people may tend to look at the negative side of things, right? So and sometimes it's habit, sometimes it's way they are, or they may have high standards of what something good is, right? So again, number three thing is be easily inspired. Not don't set so high expectations. But I'm not saying lower your standards as in anything cheap. You also I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you can lower that a little bit. So hope these three things help you be more positive, and you find that there are people who may need this little bit of advice or coaching or sharing. Do tag them, do share this with them, and if you do, give me a like or a follow. That would be awesome. All right. So that's beautiful. Like. It's good afternoon, golden hour. All right, say bye bye. Say bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye, Shian. Okay, this one.
No, like.
Yeah, I done already.
I like so fast.
Yeah.